to be standing here in front of you. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Bedenham. I'm the sales manager for WebHotelier PrimalRES Group. I've had a journey to this point. I started at St. Raphael back in the day, and then I went to Lewis Group as a yield and revenue manager there. I had my own consultancy business for a little while, and then I joined PrimalRES WebHotelier as a sales manager last year. I live in Limassol actually, and I have two amazing daughters, my wife, and we have a little dog. So I just thought a little bit about me before we get started. So let me just move to the next one. So I prepared a small agenda here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some Cyprus market insights, and then I'm going to dig into this whole balanced distribution and what does that mean, the importance of the tech stack, how do you maintain balance like once you get it, and then also talk about pricing strategy balance, talk a little bit about competition sets, what that means, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the challenges and solutions, and then there'll be some key takeaways at the end. So before I jump into that, so as I said, I work for WebHotelier and PrimalRES Group. We're a group of companies, so we're founded in 2009. Currently, we've got 17,500 hotels and accommodation providers in 38 countries. So, as a lot of you know, WebHotelier PrimalRES have been around in the market for some time. A lot's changed, and a lot continues to change, so we're evolving as a company. We've expanded now to about 110 employees. We've recruited quite a lot in support and setup, so connectivity to strengthen those teams to be able to service the market a lot better. We move about 15 million room nights yearly across the system. Yeah, so that's a little bit about that. The ecosystem we have, because I don't think a lot of people know, let's say WebHotelier and PrimalRES, the channel manager and the booking engine, but actually we have an ecosystem of products. So we have 6 core products. We have PrimalRES, the channel manager. We have WebHotelier, which is the booking engine, and we have 3 PMSs: Hotelizer, Logia, specifically for vacation rentals and property managers, HotelWorks, and we also have RoomPay as well. And we have a lot of value plus add-ons which are freely available through our systems, and we have a lot of premium add-ons as well. And then we're supported by workspace apps, so the likes of Rate Parity, which you hear about, VerityGuest, Quotelia, Bookerspace, and then the recently added BeyondX RMS. So things are booming in Cyprus from what we can see. So hopefully, for those of you who are not part of the revolution, you're going to join us shortly. We can already see these type of increases going on in terms of room nights. The numbers that you see on the screen are in millions. So a 63% increase in room nights compared to the same time last year. So we're up to 1.4 million room nights. And then currently revenue is sitting at 238 million, so as a market. So this is the whole of Cyprus. Just having a look just briefly at online bookings change per month. You can see, looking at 23, 22, there's great appetite for booking online. So there are increases month by month. And the forecast for 2024 is also quite positive currently. So we're seeing, let's say, 2023, 118,000 room nights. Now we're already seeing 212,000 room nights for 2024. So it's quite positive right now. I'm just going to jump into balanced distribution, and what does that mean? I think of balanced distribution as a massive puzzle. So you're bombarded with all of these things: pricing strategies, minimum stays, property management systems. You're flooded with all of these different types of systems, and really, how does it all fit together? How do you find this thing which is called balance at the end of the day? It's quite difficult, because at the end of the day, all of your properties are completely unique. So trying to find the right balance of systems can be quite challenging. So I always think of finding balance as this tightrope walker. So I kind of imagine all hoteliers as this tightrope walker, where you're walking between your brand, direct business. That's really the aim of the game, is to drive more direct business to your properties and not have so much reliance on third parties. But of course, the third parties are very much involved in the story, you know, and you've got to keep balance with them at the same time as trying to manage balance with your direct business as well. And then of course you've got to remain competitive as well. And then internally you've got this battle going on of managing time and cost. For me, the most important part of it, and I might be a little bit biased here, but it is the tech stack. You know, the tech stack is really the safety net between you and your direct business that will give you the opportunity to maintain balance in a productive way with your partners, as well as taking advantage of, you know, direct business as well. So the importance of the tech stack in my mind is very, very important. So, but it consists of lots of different parts, and all of you are at different stages. You know, you're all unique and you're at different stages. Some may not have started on this journey of this so-called technical stack that you need. Others may be much more further along. You may have already subscribed to the majority of the ecosystem, and you may be thinking about revenue management systems. But others may only have a booking engine or a channel manager. So my question really is, where are you in your tech stack journey currently? I'd just like to put that out there. The other thing, when you get to the point of having a good tech stack and you have a solid foundation, I just want to focus on something that will help you try and maintain balance with your tech stack. And one of those things, of course, is being focused on this big word, connectivity. I'm sure, like people that have been around PrimalRES and WebHotelier have interacted with our technical teams or setup teams, and connectivity can be quite overwhelming. You know, how do you maintain balance? How do you subscribe to? How do you appeal to all of these different partners through the same system? Well, the process is called connectivity. You have to get them all connected to the channel manager. So some key things here, I think, I just want to say, try and keep things as simple as possible when it comes to connectivity. I think build a really, really solid foundation that you can grow from, you know, because Rome at the end of the day wasn't built in one day, it took time. So don't try and do too much at once. I think it's important to try and keep things as simple as possible. A couple of things I just want to point out here, because obviously Primal and WebHotelier have been in the market for some time. It's a growing company. So like I said, we've expanded the setup teams specifically. We've strengthened the setup teams and the support teams, so they're much bigger now. I just want to encourage you to engage with them. If you do have ideas about how you want to manipulate the distribution, how you want to change things, reach out to the team, you know, because they are there to make things a lot easier. The other thing is, when you're thinking about adding new channels, I just want to say it's always good to kind of make sure that those channels are connectivity ready before you add them. It's just a tip to kind of save time. So if you want to connect, let's say, the GDS or something like that, make sure your content's loaded in there, your policies, the room types are all set up in there, and then it makes that connection process a lot more simple. The other thing I just want to talk about, which I believe is super, super important, is channel partner relationships. You're only going to be able to distribute everywhere, as we say, if you've got really solid relationships with the channels themselves. So I just want to encourage you to communicate with those channels, because you're all unique properties. Some work heavily with tour operating, others are strictly online, and it's a mixture. So I think if you are kind of relying, let's say, on tour operating, you're looking at diversifying, it's really good to have open discussions with your channel partners and with us as well to find a win-win situation. Obviously, you don't want to jeopardize what you have, but at the same time, you also want to take advantage of new opportunities as well. So definitely explore those things together, I think. The other thing, of course, achieving balance is making sure that you don't have this over-reliance on one channel or another, because as we've seen, things are, life is unpredictable. Things happen, things change, markets collapse, new ones pop up. So, that's the nature of online. It's so dynamic, and it allows you to tap into new markets. But you have to have that strong foundation. You have to have the strong technical stack in order to be able to take advantage of it. At the same time, exploring things with each of these distribution partners, because they're all different. OTAs don't work the same as wholesalers. The travel agent's module inside WebHotelier doesn't work the same. The direct business may not work the same. So it's really good, I think, to have those kind of honest conversations to then be able to take advantage of it in a way that doesn't impact your offline activities as well, because you want the whole thing to grow at the end of the day. The other big thing about balance is this big subject of pricing. How should you be priced? Should you have different prices on different channels? Should you have a solid base? I just want to encourage you, because all of you may be at different points. You may be still working on, let's say, pricing from years ago. You may have evolved it. You may have decided to have a certain direct strategy over OTAs. I think it's good to kind of, whatever you're doing, to make sure that it's clear. If it's clear to you, I believe then it would be clear to the guests. If it's complicated, the guests will perceive it to be complicated as well. There are different types of pricing methods. Like I said at the beginning, please reach out to the support teams, the setup teams. They are there. They're available for these types of discussions. To help you take advantage of. Primal and WebHotelier are very powerful tools. The other thing I just want to make you think about is this idea of pricing flexibility. Obviously all the hotels are all different. Some are chains, some have got departments, some have bosses, others have the multi-hat user who does everything. So what is the lowest you can go, and what's the highest that you can go? Have you thought about minimum and maximum pricing? Have you thought about that as a concept? The other thing is revenue meetings. Do you have revenue meetings at the moment? And if you do, is it a battlefield? I've been in so many revenue meetings, and everyone has a view of how things should be, how things should go, but it's important, I believe, that if you have a solid foundation and if you're clear, it'll make those meetings a lot more productive, I think. So I just want to put that out there for pricing strategy. The other thing is based around competition sets. You're probably all at different levels, most probably. Some may have looked at competition, others may believe that competition is not necessary, others may believe that competitors are the most important thing at the end of the day, So you're all at probably different levels here. One of the risks I see with competitors is getting a bit too overly obsessed with the competition and forgetting about the uniqueness of your properties. So, and the other thing is about competition positioning. Where in the market would you be positioned? So having strong foundational consensus, I think, around competitors at the end of the day, I think is really important. And get started. The other thing I would say as well is you can't watch the entire market. You can't watch everybody all the time. But you can choose a subset. You can choose between 5 to 8. 5 to 8 competitors, and I would say have it as an indicator. It's not the only decision for pricing changes. As you've seen, revenue management itself consists of lots and lots and lots of different factors, different variables that have to be taken into consideration before you make any pricing adjustments or any strategic moves. So have it as an indicator, I would suggest. The other thing I would just put out there is you can use a combination of manual and automated shopping. So there are some fantastic tools around to gather pricing. And you can also do manual checking as well. I'm going to put that out there as well. So, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the challenges with all of this, because the tech stack is, it does cost, at the end of the day. So, we've got like a number of challenges on the left, and we've got some, I'd like to offer some solutions to some of those challenges. So, one of the big one is that, there's not enough time. There's not enough time, we don't have the knowledge. We're apprehensive about outsourcing things, so there's a control thing there. We're concerned about costs. There's not enough staff. So I'd like to counter all of those with some really strong positive solutions. So as you all know, I think probably everybody here has used ChatGPT, right? It's like taking the world by storm. There's so many applications for that in hospitality. So it's a huge time saver. I'd say if you haven't embraced that, it's definitely something to consider. Continuous learning, it's always evolving. I mean, even us on the tech side, we're challenged every day because AWS, our software, hardware, cloud services provider are constantly changing things, they're constantly improving, so they're challenging us to constantly follow that. So it moves very, very quickly, so we have to constantly invest in knowledge all the time. So I just want to encourage you to also invest in finding out more, asking questions, and challenging your partners, asking us questions, because at the end of the day, you're satisfying your clients, and we're here to facilitate that in the best way possible. The other thing is take a collaborative approach, I think, to anything, to outsourcing, to your channel relationships. I believe that helps. That helps keep things nice and clear, nice and simple. Cost concerns, I think reframing it and considering costs as investment rather than a cost. It is an investment. You are building up the tech stack, and it's not something that's going to disappear. It's something that is there like all the time. So viewing it like that is a lot better. I also want to make some suggestions here, because as you saw, the Primal WebHotelier ecosystem is quite large. So we do have a lot of free value plus add-ons. So there's a lot of things that can be activated. I would encourage you to reach out to our support team and say, can you please let us know what we can have for free? Literally, I would just put it like that. And we would send you back a list. You can have, there's a lot of things that you can take advantage of right now with what you're using. We also have a range of premium add-ons. The other thing about not enough staff, because obviously it can be a little complicated with things like connectivity, is to reach out to the teams, and the teams will be your extension of your staff. So whenever it comes to connectivity or support, those people are there, they're available. So I just want to. The next few slides are all the different products, but I'm not going to go into each one of them, so it's just kind of quickly cycling through them. So we've got the booking engine, we have PrimalRES Channel Manager, we've got Hotelizer, cloud-based PMS, we've got Logia, which is specifically for rentals, HotelWorks, another PMS, RuPay, which is redefining payments, it's something new. We also have workspace apps as well. We've got the great Parody, which you're going to hear about just in a few moments. We've also got Hotelier, Bookerspace, Bionex, RMS, and Verity. I think I've got a couple more minutes. So just to wrap up, some key takeaways. Basically, online bookings in Cyprus are booming, and it's going to continue like this. I like to believe that we're seeing the back of the COVID times, and it's just increasing year on year. So please join us in the revolution. The other thing is simplicity, I believe, is really key, especially when you're dealing with connectivity. It's very easy to make it super complicated. I would say try and keep things as simple as you can, and then build on it incrementally. Don't try and change everything all at the same time. A lot of you do that really well. but just know that we're available to support those that are not yet familiar with connectivity. Staying in touch with the latest technological advancements. Yeah, so I think be consistent where your pricing is concerned. I think that is a really strong point there. And be consistent with connectivity. So when you want to add new channels, don't just leave your, you've signed up and you have 5 channels. Explore new channels. Try and add new things to it and try and build it out. Because you can grow from there. The other thing is to just keep in mind that all the channels themselves have got differences. Celebrate those differences in the channels, and you can take advantage of them for your hotels. The other thing is, engage. Support team, setup team. We've strengthened those teams quite a lot. So engage with them, and also engage a lot with your channel partners, I believe. Because that's where the fruit is, because you've got specific sets of circumstances, how the properties are set up, and you need to be able to have a specific distribution strategy when it comes to online. So those conversations really help with that. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. It was really a privilege to stand here and talk to you. Thank you so much.